Most difficult point of this match, yeah. Okay, I think that I really struggled. Like I think it was the second map. I feel like they just played like a different tempo, and we were not like ready for it. Like they have a really like different play style than what we're used to. So it took us some time to adapt to it.
두 번째 맵은 약간 좀 다른 템포 좀 느꼈던 것 같아가지고 그래서 약간 좀 어려울 것 같아요.
네, 적들의 템포에 좀 적응하는데 시간이 좀 걸렸다라고 말하긴 했지만 오늘 또 멋진 경기 보여줬기 때문에 앞으로가 더 기대됩니다. 다음 경기는 크레이지 라쿤과의 경기가 예정돼 있는데요. 각오 한마디 들어볼까요?
Tomorrow you will face Crazy Raccoon. So do you have anything to say to them?
So you guys might have been on top of the world for a long time, but I think right now EU they're trying to climb up. We're trying to climb up, and I think we can actually beat them. They have to be careful.
크레이지 라쿤과의 경기 좀 크레이지 라쿤 조심해야 된다. 너희들 넘어설 수 있다라고도 말씀을 해주셨습니다. 자, 이렇게 조로우 선수와 인터뷰는 여기서 마치도록 하고요. 저희는 다음 경기 바렐과 팀 팔콘의 경기로 돌아오겠습니다.
Yeah, let's go.
Bro, sorry you're so fucking good.
Brighter than a shooting star!
Do your worst, or I will.
Hello! Feeling better yet? We'll show them a trick or two. The Kitsune got you! Supernova ready! Greetings, Earthlings! Come closer. I won't bite.
Boom! I'm feeling it!
Prove your skill.
I'm in the groove!
Be uplifted. Incredibile.
Victory is at hand.
Now we're in orbit. Nice try.
F it up!
Magnifique. How do I look? Oh,
Yes. Yeah. All right.
The world has changed. A new enemy has risen.
The power of Talon, now under my control.
This is a fight we cannot lose.
The war is here.
Let's fight fire with fire. My training is over. Who wants to feel the heat? I do enjoy a hostile takeover.
Time to show them what we're made of. Can't live without me? I'm getting into this.
Anyone can make a difference.
The choice is yours. Resistance is pointless. Talon is everywhere.
Your divine support has arrived. I have landed among the stars. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes
Victory.
will be ours.
Blazing a path. I am the Inferno.
Sup? You can't break free. Where are you going?
Domina has arrived.
Got you covered. Good shot, right?
Enemies coming in hot. Can someone heal me? Damn it!
Disgraceful.
Rise from the ashes!
Come on.
Feeling warm yet? Such a bull.
Too easy.
Who's a pretty kitty? You are.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to go into our second series of the evening. It's going to be a long day of Overwatch, so plenty for you to feast your eyes upon. And going into this one, we're going to have Varel squaring up against Team Falcons.
Varel has been making waves. I mean, this is a team that has gone from strength to strength, from Japan not even having a team qualify to any international events in previous years. For last year, the first time they actually qualified, they went to mid-season, then they qualified to Stockholm for World Finals as well. Really impressed. They picking games and matches off of other teams. And now, the strongest looking Varel we have ever had. They're going to continue where they left off. Let's see how Varel does today in 2026 in boot camp.
Making their way over here on a green soil. Great players on the team as well, but pull off the upset of all upsets, as they will be squaring off against none other than Team Falcons. But my God, if they could manage it, what a showing it would be.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons, you'll see in a minute when they start walking out what their roster looks like, but for the side of Varel, all as standard, keeping everyone from their successful run in OWCS Korea in 2025. No reason to change. If it works, do not break it. The only thing that is going to be curious on the backline, Slate and Cloud together. I'm not seeing Mimosa here. You can only have 6 players, which means no Mimosa for their 7th. And that means no dedicated Lucio player. One of the really interesting things about Varel is the fact that between Slay and Cloud, they don't really play that here at all. Slay will play Brig as his main support. He's going to have to play at least a Jetpack Cat on map 1, if not a further map a little bit later on. So that is a guarantee that we'll have to see out of Slay. For Cloud, pretty standard. Mostly just going to be on the Kiriko and all of that kind of like Hero Flex support as standard. So that will be the interesting thing.
Alrighty, well, making their way out onto the stage, the big dogs here in Korea. It's going to be Team Falcons. Plenty of familiar and formidable faces that have been around the Overwatch scene since, well, not quite time memoriam. I've been around longer than a lot of these guys, I suppose, but they've been here for a long, long time.
Well, I mean, certainly in comparison to some of the other players on stage and some of the other teams on stage as well, Falcons now full of old dogs and vets on the team. In fact, every single member of their current lineup is a former world champion at some stage. It's a mixture of former Dallas Field champion players, and now Indiana Checkmate means they have 3 members of that core Florida Mayhem 2023 championship team. You'll notice, I'm going to call out the elephant in the room, Proper is missing from this roster. Some questions about what he's up to at the moment. There are reports that he obviously had some medical things to take care of recently, which could take him out of the roster for the time being for this boot camp. Other rumors are saying he might be on a different team. We don't know, and we will have to wait to see where that is going to land. I'm sure whoever gets Proper is going to be very happy with that pickup, whether it be Falcons or somewhere else. And while Kilios, as we saw from our last series, we're going to have a 1v1. One that chooses map 1, and then we have to play all 5 heroes.
Yes, so we'll get ready to go into that 1v1. I'm curious to see if they're going to stick with the Jetpack Cat. Was a bit slow going in the first one between Lep and FD God. Took a while for the action to really ensue, but maybe let's see a little bit, a bit of a different flavor here. Lean into that Unrun or the Ombre coming through here. Go for the DPS picks, or maybe just even a straight up 1v1 with the Dominus. I'm not too certain. They have free reign as far as what they want to go for, so you could end up with DPS, V-Tank, etc. But I'm guessing that a lot of this is going to be, firm handshakes between the squads, agreeing on what they want to play.
I'm hoping for a DPS 1v1 here. I mean, you look at the Varel side of things, their star player is Top Dragon, no doubt about it. He is Mr. International as far as pro Overwatch players goes. I think at this point he's basically played in every single region, every niche little region you can think of. He has spent a season there at some point in time. He's played in Australia, he's played in Saudi Arabia, he's played all over the world, and now lands himself in Varel, the top team in Japan. Looks like he's made quite the name for himself in his new home, so he might be first up in terms of the representative. We're going to get into a hit scan battle. It's going to be Nico versus Merit.
All right, so should be leaning away from the supports and the tanks within the pool, so bit of a different flavor here compared to what we had at the start. Let's see how critical that map pick can be. I mean, a damn good way to start off the day with 6 maps in a first to 3. I'm hoping that we can see something similar coming out of these two squads. But pressure is certainly going to be felt on the shoulders of Veril. That being said, though, with all the expectations on Falcons and playing in front of, you know, the home crowd, maybe that'll get to them a little bit. It's where you can see teams falter.
I mean, expectations as well. Falcons, mid-season champs from 2025, world champs from 2024. They've had great success over the 2 years they've been active as an OWCS team. But probably exited a little sooner than they would have liked at World Finals in 2025 at Stockholm. 4th place overall after losing out to Crazy Raccoon. And also dropping down a low bracket when they faced against Twisted Minds. That was the year of EMEA. You get to the end of the year, Stockholm, home ground, 2 EMEA teams in the World Finals. Both your top Korean teams, Crazy Raccoon and Falcons, are gone. Not even sniffing that top 2, 3rd place and 4th place. Falcons, a lot to prove this year, taking Checkmate into their fold, under their wings, not intended, as Checkmate was runner-up last year on OWCS, and with OWCS splitting up, Checkmate available for a team like Falcons to take on board.
As we get closer and closer to jumping into this one, let's see what they have prepared for us. I've seen some wry smiles, so I wonder just quite what they're going to be going for in this one. But you see the players starting to lean over, wanting to watch this 1v1, so it looks like we have it ready to go. So we'll get ourselves into Lijiang Tower and see who is going to be getting that advantage here in the map draft. So it looks like, okay, we'll just be that double Umre coming through here on both sides.
Remember the Siphon Blasters we saw Nico pull out earlier on there. Well, now 6 seconds left to go through. It does heal you a little bit, so a little bit of self-sustain available.
Also gain some move speed, I do believe, when you have it drawn out. Okay, so the
aim battle.
Frag grenades are going to go. Obviously, have to get that bounce in, try to find some damage. And as for now, Merritt is kind of taking the brunt of this one. Put out into the open. Blaster's going to be drawn. Merritt down to 98. Nico still very healthy. Looking for the finisher, and we'll be able to have it. So there you go. Much punchier and pacey compared to what we saw at the start. And that is going to be a big W off the top.
Yeah, it looks like Merritt maybe pulled out a sidearm a little bit early there. I mean, it's a good burst weapon at close range, but the Siphon Blaster, as you can see, that the very long range is not really delivering the damage or the accuracy he's looking for there. Nico far more comfortable just ADSing with the burst shots, aimed in the head, closing the range there with the Siphon Blaster towards the end. So that's going to be battle. Happy with that one. See if they get more wins after that. Of course, is only the beginning of things. They'll have a big uphill to climb here. Japan is, not just Japan, but every other region compared to Korea, has largely struggled against Korea for almost the entirety of the lifetime of Overwatch esports, except for the start of Overwatch esports and the end of Overwatch esports' year in 2025. So that has been the real big moments of faltering, but that was EMEA winning both of those. Japan, still developing region. Let's see how far they develop in 2026.
Yeah, well, fairly one-sided in the match prediction. Can't say it's too shocking, just given the caliber of team with Falcons. And okay, there is going to be a punt here for Veril to take this one in a 3-2 fashion.
Yeah, and I think that punt comes through from the fact that, again, you do have a missing proper on Falcons. Checkmate, no slouch. I'm sure he's going to be very, very impressive. It's going to certainly open up some different pathways for Falcons. Certainly the Symmetra play is really what you're looking at from Checkmate. He was leading the way on that last year for pretty much the entirety of the year. On OWCS as one of the primary members, looking like the best Symmetra player in the world at various times all throughout last year, particularly when they were ahead of Twisted Minds up until the end. So Checkmate, king of unusual heroes, but when it's time to play those unusual heroes, there's no one I trust more.
Me, I'm going to be looking at Fielder there, and the support role has always just been so very incredible and just a sturdy player to uphold a backline. So I'm going to keep my eyes on him, and we know that he can also get, you know, bloodthirsty when necessary. So I think that, you know, Veril, they're very much going to have their work cut out for them here, but they do potentially have that surprise factor. You're coming in with a new meta. You're playing with a lot less pressure on your shoulders. If there's a time to get a win over Falcons, it feels like it really could be right now in this tournament. And it would be such a huge upset.
Yeah, I mean, while Falcons are still figuring things out as well, while Proper's not here, whether he's still on the team or not, still up for confirmation. But even this lineup here, I haven't even talked about Harbin yet, who himself looking at Domina as one of the current lead tanks in the meta. That is a hero that I think is just made for a player like Harbin. That's exactly in his wheelhouse.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he was always one of those ones where it's like, okay, we know Hanbin's niche. He's really slotted into this. But then as things had changed, you know, over the course of, you know, 2 seasons ago, I suppose, it started really putting flexibility on display. Started seeing him leaning into things like the Winston that was always out of his wheelhouse. So I think that he's just gotten to such a good point to where you could just kind of put him on anything, and he's going to be fine with it after, you know, 1 or 2 reps on the stage. But will be Lijiang Tower to start things off. Selection here from Varel after winning the 1v1, so it seems like they like the scenery and they want to stick to it.
So some of the old favorites come on through as well. Varel, also known for sometimes playing unconventional picks. Top Dragon coming in occasionally on something like a Farah. Obviously, we talked about the backline. Sorry, not for this particular map. Maybe in a future map, but just sort of describing the heroes. Always slips my mind a little bit. We'll get in there. Obviously, we'll see the 5 heroes they're meant to be playing for map number 1, but obviously, I'm talking about the backline, Slay and Cloud again. A little bit more limited in terms of hero pool. Slay is going to be forced to, or one of them is going to be, but you'd imagine be Slay, forced to play a Jetpack Cat for this one.
So it looks like we are ready to go. Loaded up on Lijiang Towers. Let's go ahead and get the second series underway. Varel versus Falcons. First to 3, single elimination. He's going to take that first step towards sticking around. And he's going to have 1 foot out the door.
Might be the only time we see Emre and Anran in the battlefield, as well as the DPS heroes have not really found their place in the current meta so far, but that's fine. Not every hero is going to be featured, but our opening gate pause is back, Achilles, so...
It has indeed. Get a word in, looks like maybe something on the Varel side. Maybe the lights are too bright. I saw one of the players shielding their eyes there a little bit.
They get used to it.
As we get word of this, we'll of course pass information on to you guys, and hopefully it's going to be something fast. It is on the Falcon side, so we'll get that looked at. We have the admins already on stage.
Harmon doesn't have his monitor tilted enough, so he's going to get the protractor out to get the exact angle he requires.
He's got the nice arm, man. You gotta get it perfectly positioned. I think that might even be the same monitor arm that I have. At least looks very similar. But we'll get the admins involved, get them up there on the stage, and whatever the issue is, get it dealt with and done so we can get into the gameplay. Already, I mean, you know, considering how the first series had gone, we've got 4 matches. Now getting into the second one, it's already looking to be a long day. So for people out there that are, you know, fiending for their drops, you're going to be able to, you know, bang them all out. The day 1, day 2 drops on the first little go of it here, it would seem.
Definitely with the add pauses in there as well, adding for your time. And I'm curious as well whether we're going to see someone, aka Ham, the other tank player for Falcons, step in at some stage. I mean, I imagine for this event, especially if Falcons find themselves in a bit of a lead, maybe a 2-0. See him in, see what he ends up playing. I want to see if any of those dive tanks are viable outside of just Diva. Because otherwise it's looking like all Harbin's hero pool all day. Very comfortable looking meta so far for Merit, as Sojin seems to be the hero of the current day and also of the current meta for him. And he's been playing that hero since the very beginning, one of his key signatures. Checkmate's flexible enough that you will probably see him on a variety of different heroes. But I sort of mentioned, you know, the sneaky Symmetra might come through for Checkmate. Not this map, in one of the following ones maybe.
I saw a little bit of it previously. I mean, it was banned in Esperanza, but then saw it in follow-up. So might surface. Hopefully get in here quickly.
Fielder and Chio still going to be largely for the series, except for this map, second to the Lucio Kiriko. There's something in there is banned. I'd like to see if one of them tries out a Mizuki after our first map.
Yeah, I want to see how Fielder plays this one. We saw that he is going to be the one piloting that, which makes sense. Usually, he's going to be going for the much more aggressive supports. So I am curious to see how he makes this pick look. We didn't get too broad of sights on it, I suppose, from the first series. But I think also just playing these 5 heroes does lend itself to a lot of chaos, a lot of tight-knit fights. Because you have to get it in on top of the Dominas. You do have that Unrun who's looking to play close with the Inferno Rush, try to get on top, spread out those burns. So maybe as time goes on, but yeah, I would love to see the Mizuki. But also, if we do see something like the Kiriko band away, I would love to see Fielder back onto the Ana.
Just look at the history between these two teams as well. They have met twice in the past, both last year in 2025. The first time was in Asia Stage 1. When we had the qualification to get into Champions Clash in China. Of course, Falcons, they ended up winning that one. 3-0. Didn't even drop a single point on any of the 3 maps they played. So utter domination. That's probably what you would expect. However, when you look at World Finals last year, the improvement for Varel is really significant. They pushed Falcons to the brink. First round of Stockholm in the World Finals. Was a BO3, aka a first to 2. So keep that in mind. But it was a 2-1 victory for Falcons, with Varel taking away, looks like Shambali Monastery was the map they ended up taking away. So Varel, I mean, a team that you can't really sleep on. And then some very close showings of Runasapi, 92 meters to 102 meters. That is a map that genuinely, if I remember watching that one as well, did feel very competitive. The scoreline is certainly competitive, but to memory, I remember it being competitive as well. So Falcons, on that opening map, on the opening match, I should say, at World Final, was definitely kind of slipped up a little bit versus Varel, but also goes to show that Varel have had just marked improvement over time.
Well, do love to see the turnout. Obviously, off seasons. It's the worst thing to happen to esports. You sat back, you're waiting for the action to resume. Finally, it's here. A land on Korean soil where it's, team